Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wendy's channel. Relish the Riker down under, and I am down under the Riker. I'm down under the 900 Rally Riker, doing a little bit of investigative journalism. What's the word? Something like that. So, above and beyond what Wendy's current Riker has, the 600, the 900 has got this additional alloy bash plate covering, well, it's not the transmission. This further one back here is the transmission cover, but this is sort of covering the section between the transmission and engine. I've yet to examine all that and what's going on. I knew that the 900 Rally had a bit more protection underneath, but I didn't really look at it in the showroom to see what it is. Now, the engine cover is still this plastic tray that is all clipped up and pretty much impossible to remove without a lot of work. A lot of zip clips holding some wire harnesses in place, and then there's just the plastic rivets. But it's these zip clips which are a nuisance, because I've tried to change or tried to remove this on Wendy's to do the oil service, and it's just not worth it. By the time you take it all off, and it's a pain in the bum. Anyway, you can access the drain plug through this hole, but it's not as good as getting rid of it and seeing the whole bottom of the engine. But the bit I do like, now I've got to try and move back here. On the bottom of the 600 you do have a plastic piece that covers the bottom of the radiator. And that's all that protects the bottom of the radiator, a piece of plastic which is a sort of an extension of this front, what would you call it, nose cone. But here on the 900 we've got, let's see if we can do this, a few screws and a couple of plastic rivets, and this piece comes away. And that exposes this plate, which is held on with 6 screws. This quite sturdy metal plate covering, again, the bottom of the radiator, and then the plastic is below or above this metal plate. And so this is all that the 600 has got, this plastic. The 900 has this extra steel plate, which then attaches to this little sort of fake bull bar. It's something. It's better than nothing. It rattles a bit up here. I'm going to have to sort of stop a bit of that rattling, but there you go. The 900 has this extra bit of steel. I like that. It's certainly an improvement. Alright, stay tuned for more as I find it. Hooroo. Ladies and gentlemen, you may remember a long time ago I put up a video about making this reverse lever for Wendy. Her foot couldn't reach or wasn't able to really pull the reverse lever back, and bending forward to do it was a nuisance using a hand. And there's a few companies that make a reverse lever kit, so I thought I'd have a go at making one, and this has been successful. It's worked for her quite well. Just pull it back to pop it in reverse and push it forward. Now, that, as I say, I had a bit of a video up on it a long time ago about how I made this one. Well, I just thought I'd share with you how I'm making the one for the 900 Rally. So there is a video, and I don't know how to put a link in the description yet, but I'm working on that. But there is a video back there if you look in our back catalogue on how to do this reverse lever. So let's go up to the Rally and see what I'm going to do up there. Alright, here we are. I've removed all the front trim. This complete radiator nose cone has to come off to gain access to some plastic rivets here that hold the side trim on, which is a bit of a bugger to take the whole front off just to get this side trim off. So the side trim that covers up down here has to be removed for me to get access to this bit of pipe. This is where I'm going to mount the reverse lever for the rally. I'm going to make it pretty much the same as one on the 600 because, well, it works, and I hope I can do the same here. So there's your reverse lever. The idea is you reach forward with your toe and pop it back into reverse and push it forward with your foot. But for a 64-year-old woman with arthritic feet, not so easy. Don't blame her. I wouldn't like to be doing it all the time too, because yeah, it can be complicated for old farts. So I've made a bracket out of some gal steel that's going to go around this tube. Let's have a look here. I've got this handle, a jack handle off an old caravan. We've never used it, it's just sitting here. I'm going to cut this up. It's already got the bends that I need. I can just cut it, weld a little bush on the end here. And that's going to be the pivot on this bolt. And I have hanging here this little gizmo I've made and painted black that goes around the frame. The bolt will go through that, and that's what it'll all pivot on. A couple of ball rod ends, they were $5 each. The rest is stuff that I've had laying around, and if you look hard enough up and down your street in all your neighbours' garages and stuff, I'm sure you'll find everything you need. If you're a bit of a handy person, this is a DIY reverse lever. Let's get into it. I'll bring you back on when I have more made. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I keep bringing you back as I get bits and pieces done here. So this is the little bracket that I've bolted on to this tube, 32 millimeter tube, which is part of the chassis. So it's just a piece of strap that's bolted on. This bolt I'm replacing with stainless steel when I go into town to get one, but just as a starting point, this will do the job to get me measuring and working. So on here I've got a metal sleeve that moves on this bolt. This will be the pivot point, and the arm will come up, out, up, gear knob, and a linkage forward to the reverse lever. So if you're a bit of a DIY or a bit of a handy person, anyone can do this. I've just bent this up out of a bit of gal. It's as solid as a brick, you know what. I've put a sleeve under here so it can't hurt this tube, won't mark it, won't start rust, anything like that. On this brake pipe, so it's not rubbing on there, I've put a bit of spiral wrap. That'll support the tube there. When I zip clip it back on, it's not going to be rubbing metal to metal. Zip clip all this back, weld an arm onto here, work out the dimensions as we go, but I'll show you that as I get there. Alright, so stay tuned for more. Hooroo! Ladies and gentlemen, while I think of it, well, I had to come back and film it because I forgot to think about it. Do you recall I did a video on picking up a mudguard for Wendy's 600 that I broke, and I went to Armidale to grab it? Well, that's it here. I put it on the 900 because the 900 has a mudguard that stops short about here, and all this is open, and when you're going along a bit of dirt or mud or grass, wet grass, it all flicks all over the suspension arm up here, which was a bit disconcerting. Not ideal, but probably done for aesthetics to make it look a bit tough, to show the tyre off. So I've tried to see if this fits, and it does, obviously, because it's kind of the same bike. So the 600 mudguard, well, the 900 Ace and the 900 Sport has a solid mudguard as well, so they're all the same part. So I've put it onto this one, and I've ordered a new one for the 600. which is not in the country. I'll have to get it in, but as soon as it rocks up I'll put it on the 600. So there's one way of stopping all the mud crap landing on your swing arm. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I've done a little bit more since you were last here a couple of seconds ago. I've cut this jack handle up. I've got all my angles a bit wrong, especially this pin up here. I've got to cut that off, and because I thought it's got to angle this way, but when I got it in the vise it was upside down and I'm angled the wrong way, so I've got to make it go the other way. But basically that's it. I'll put the plastic back on later and show you what it looks like with that on, but it's just a pivot point down here on the frame with this bracket. I'll replace this bolt later with stainless, as I mentioned before. Pivot point here, got this angle, worked it out. You sort of get a black pen and you mark it. Oh yeah, you think that's right, this is right. So a ball joint here. Now I've left it way too long because we're going to cut it down. Depends what sort of knob Wendy gets for it. She hasn't decided what she wants on top. She doesn't want an 8-ball. We thought maybe a black and white 8-ball, but not at this stage. She's still looking. Put a little threaded rod in here. I'll cover that thread up so you don't see it. But basically that's the gear lever. Should be. I've tried. She's come out and sat on it, and her feet up on the peg, and it's all out of the way of her leg. So far so good. Just got to do some more fine tuning. But that's basically what I've decided to do for a reverse lever, and anyone could do this if they've got. I've only got a basic stick welder. I don't even have a proper workshop. I'm just sitting here in the garage and it's raining outside, so I can tinker as long as I like. We can't do anything for a couple of days because of the weather. So if you've got a handy person available, or you're okay at it yourself, go for it. It's easy enough to do and cheap as chips, and it works, and it saves you leaning forward with your arthritic old body. There you go. Okay guys, back again. I've re-welded this little bolt onto there, and put the plastic back on just temporarily till I change stuff down there. It's all got to get painted, of course, but it works, and I'll get on the bike and show you. It's even better than the last one in one respect. I'll be back. So while sitting on the bike, Wendy's already had a go at it, but with my feet on the pegs, it still gets around your leg, whereas the 600, I got that wrong. It's okay for Wendy because she's got a shorter leg, shorter knee, doesn't go as far forward, but on this one it misses my leg completely. So here we go. That's the mock-up of the reverse lever, and once I get it all clean and painted and a knob on there, we'll get you back and show you what it looks like. Well, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I recorded the last bit. I've been waiting for Wendy to find herself a gear knob, and she hasn't been able to manage to find something she likes. She's looked at many on eBay and Etsy and all sorts of Itsy, Watsy, Hootsy, I don't know, some stuff online, I don't get it all. But she hasn't found a gear knob, so I've taken it upon myself to just get this little pink aluminium tube and glue it on there until she finds one that'll do, because I wanted to get the rest together and paint all this, put it together, get it going. So that's the end result. The Ryker Rally gear shift. I've put heat shrink over all the metal parts here that were shiny, so that sort of made them black. It's a plastic coating, heat shrink. Most guys know what that is. I assume guys will do this job, but I shouldn't, because a lot of ladies are better on the tools than what I am, so a lady can do this. And this cost me 2 ball joints, which were $5 each. The rest of the steel and bits and pieces I've had laying around. Now you may or may not have that, which is just circumstance as to what's in your shed. All you need is a welder, a bit of basic tool knowledge. Anyone can do this. So it's finished now for my part of it, till we find a better gear knob for Wendy. But that's just a what do you call them? You know, when you have a battery that you plug your phone into. Flipping, my brain is shot. Sorry. Just a bit of aluminium tube and just a bit of Sikaflex that you just sort of glue it on. It's good and solid. So there you go. For a few dollars you can make yourself a gear shift. I suppose if you're both working and you've got kids hanging around and you've got no time, yeah, go and buy one from Sling Mods, and other brands are available. But there you go. Couple bucks, bit of time, and you can personalise it, you know, find a gear knob that you like, a garden gnome, drill a hole up its bum and glue it on, whatever. It's doable for very little money. Alright guys, we'll call it quits at that, and we'll catch you up on the next video. Cheers for now.